Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. CIG have responded to community feedback on the MedGel and respawn changes they recently made in Alpha 4.3.1. And actually the changes they made are pretty sensible here, so we're going to be talking about that. There's also been a new Vulkan graphics update test on the tech preview, and we even have details of this year's CitizenCon digital goodies pack. I have yet to make up my mind whether I'm buying one or not myself. So there was a bit of controversy about MedGel and medical respawn updates that CIG had made. Lots of players felt that only being able to respawn once off a canister of MedGel that cost 100,000 Alpha UEC was effectively a bit too expensive, and healing injuries cost half a can as well, and yeah, very, very expensive to do all this, and no wiggle room if you heal an injury and then try and respawn. If you haven't got any MedGel there or you've used half of it, you can't respawn there. So CIG have made some big changes. The amount of MedGel contained within a single canister has increased from 100 to 200. The cost of a canister remains 100,000 Alpha UEC though, so effectively you're getting 2 respawns. You're getting twice the amount for the same price. Respawning still consumes 100 MedGel. CIG have said, our goal with the respawn cost was to price it more towards the experienced players, and the feedback on this cost has been a mixed bag. To make it more accessible whilst still providing a decent drain on Alpha UEC over time, the decision was made to reduce the price. Healing tiered injuries is now different MedGel costs, rather than a flat amount for any and all injuries. Healing a tier 3 injury will consume 5 MedGel, an equivalent of 2,500 Alpha UEC. Healing a tier 2 injury will consume 10 MedGel, equivalent of 5,000 Alpha UEC. Healing a tier 1 injury will consume 20 MedGel or 10,000 Alpha UEC. The aim of the flat healing cost was to try and keep it very simple, where 1 canister equal 1 respawn or 2 heals, being mindful that this would be easier to mentally keep track of how much MedGel is remaining if the ship was being operated by a team with members out in the field. The injury costs were balanced towards a worst case scenario of having a tier 1 injury. However, the overwhelming feedback was that this was too much and that simplicity was not a concern, so we're happy to split them up and make them cheaper. Same as when it was a flat cost. If you have multiple injuries of the same tier, e.g. 3 tier 2 injuries, then the cost is just 10 MedGel. So there is still a level of simplicity there. What I want to see is very obvious amounts of how much MedGel is left on screens around those medical bays, around those med beds, and potentially even on engineering consoles, that sort of stuff. So I go, oh yeah, okay, we need to restock the MedGel. With that in mind, tier 3 beds have had their capacity increased effectively from 100 to 200, tier 2 beds have had their capacity increased from 200 to 400, and tier 1 beds have had their capacity increased from 400 to 600. CIG saying, we want the bed capacity to be divisible by the canister amount, which is the main driving force behind this change. However, we also recognise that for tier 3 beds, it's a nice quality of life update to be able to heal a few times and still have 1 respawn in reserve before having to top up again. Respawn distances of tier 1 beds have increased from 150 million meters to 750 billion meters, enough to cover most star systems. So I had actually assumed that the 150 million was kilometers in the original post, and I think actually it probably was supposed to be, but yeah, 750 million kilometers is actually enough to cover most of a star system, even more so than before. The dev said, the dev, maybe me, who gave the numbers to the team putting together the website design brief, referenced the wrong cell in Excel when doing an AU to meters conversion, and this is now fixing it. Medical canisters will be added to LTP, long-term persistence, meaning they don't get wiped between patches. They're very expensive, so if you have a medical ship and you've got it full of MedGel, you don't want that stuff being wiped. A minor note on this, we know there are some of these canisters scattered around hospitals on live. Those will be removed when 4.3.1 goes live. Any canisters collected now on 4.3 will not persist in 4.3.1. CIG are continuing to take feedback on this medical gameplay and updates and even these new changes, so keep on giving feedback. It's great to see CIG addressing these issues and iterating on them during the PTU phase. My current bugbear with medbed respawning is that it's set per bed and not per ship. So if you have, 4 beds on a ship and you set your location to one of those beds to respawn at, then you actually spawn at that specific bed. And if that specific bed runs out of MedGel, you're spawning back at your home location. It doesn't go, oh, the bed next to you has MedGel or anything like that. I also believe that CIG have said that this isn't a bug, but in the future, CIG do plan to let you have a choice of where to respawn and a bit more malleability in that, and it will be, I believe this will be sorted out in the future, but it might be some time before it's addressed. Tell me what you think about those medical changes in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And are you enjoying Alpha 4.3.1? If you're playing it, tell me what you think of that. This video is sponsored by Tobii Eye Tracker 5s. They're on sale at the moment. It's Tobii's 24th anniversary, and to celebrate, you can use my link below to get 20% off until the 20th of September. Do you want high-precision head and eye tracking that's natively supported in Star Citizen? If the answer is yes or maybe, well, you can catapult your immersion and control to the next level by grabbing yourself one. Look, aim, react more freely, give yourself more options in ships, vehicles, and while on foot, just while playing the game, I suppose. And there are features like camera boost, which is a bit like mouse acceleration for your head and eyes, but actually really useful. It enables you to check around more easily, tracking an enemy fighter that's to the side of you, or looking out a window, or enabling you to check over your shoulder. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5 also supports a variety of other games and features, and there is also a sweepstake going on at the same time that you can get involved with. Buy one now. What do you have to lose other than the money you spent on buying it? I see the issue. You'll probably like it. Links below. Something else that you might have been playing is the tech preview playtest of Vulkan integration. CIG have been running that over the last day or so. It was out to all backers, but it might be over by the time you see this. They might be running another test real soon with it, though. It is oddly using the 4.2.x branch, so no Onyx facilities, but there's just a load of Vulkan improvements and traditional graphics options here. It's a load of the improvements for Vulkan and stuff from Squadron 42 basically being drawn into the Star Citizen build, and Vulkan's on by default. It should be significantly more performant, although there are lots of bugs with the build. They've reduced video memory usage of the renderer. They made a load of optimizations and fixes. They've added DLAA support. I've been having quite good results in Star Citizen in general with my 9070 XT with FSR on, so I'm looking forward to more Vulkan integrations coming into the game and it being the norm, and more optimizations, more good. Something else I want to talk about is the CitizenCon Digital Goodies Pack. Now, let's start with the cost. These are $35. It is effectively the cost of a brand new indie game. You don't need them at all either. These are just a bundle of like FPS gear and loot and flair and stuff that you can put on display. Previously, these have been there to support like the live streams and the live shows and the big CitizenCon physical experience that they have. This year we have CitizenCon Direct, which is an only online, non-physical event. So CIG appear to have packed a load of FPS gear and a load of armors and stuff like that into a bundle and gone, well, actually, we can justify the cost like that because this is more of an exercise in marketing and collectors. If you want to collect this stuff, then maybe you want to get it. So CIG say, pick up this year's new collection of 13 in-game wearables, weapons, decor, and collectibles, including 2 new complete armor sets, an exclusive flight suit, a bundle of new weapons, and more, all alongside the classics like our CitizenCon challenge coin and trophy to add to your collection. The full list of digital goodies will be unveiled at CitizenCon Direct 2955, with all items being delivered in upcoming patches. So we can see the flight suit and a bit of the armor, the helmet, maybe a part of a chest plate. I can't tell if that's actually just part of the flight suit or not, but you can see silhouettes in the background. So yeah, that appears to be a flight suit with helmets, but other stuff you're getting is new armor set 1 and 2, new undersuit, new jacket, 3 FPS weapons, and that challenge coin, a trophy, and 3 decor items. I'm super interested if people are going to be picking this up, or if they think, no, it's super expensive, or, oh yeah, I do quite like to support Star Citizen with this kind of thing. Or if you were like, yeah, if they had a pack that was $10, $15, maybe even $20, yeah, but $35, that's too much. Boom! That's it for your updates today. I am super excited for CitizenCon on the 11th of October. I may be going to a watch party, so very, very excited for that. Tell me what you're doing, what your plans for CitizenCon. Are you going to watch it live? Are you going to go to a watch party? Are you going to just watch a summary of it afterwards? Are you keen to get the Apollo in Alpha 4.3.1 so you can test that out in all those new medical facilities and ways of respawning and healing and all that sort of jazz? What other changes do you think need to be made to medical gameplay? What are your thoughts or questions? Chuck it in the comments below. And something else that you should do, oh, what's that? Maybe you should click on the links to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Well, that's down below as well. It'll give you a huge discount on NordVPN and you get better accessibility, security and privacy on the interwebs with it. Oh, perfect. I use it. You'll probably love it too. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for this month of September we are giving away an RSI Apollo Triage, a medium-sized flying medical clinic. It also comes with lifetime insurance and access to Star Citizen with a game package. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month of September. If you would like to further support the channel, please remember to like, share, subscribe, watch my other videos on the channel for everything Star Citizen related. There's a load of useful links below as well to a load of stuff that I support or support me in some way with like NordVPN and all that sort of jazz, Game Glass, loads of cool stuff. But also, you could clickety-click on the join button under my videos to help support the channel even more by giving a little bit of money. Oh, isn't that good? Get a load of exclusive little bonuses as well. Or you can use Patreon to do pretty much the same thing, whatever you fancy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great September, and I'll see you in the verse.